Go get it. Go get it. Photo pour so photogenic. All my life I've been a go get her. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing, but to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got the sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. When you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers.
He's able to...
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchange.
I saw what you did there.
What I do? Rocky.
I saw that. I got it. And, you know, right now, they're carrying it around like they're carrying boxing gloves. They're kind of reckless. They got to get it together and start playing a little bit better.
First down. Here's the run with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all 3 of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have one bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Now a design run with Jefferson.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
30 yards.
Well, the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into a touchdown. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They'll give him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And Watson has it right side. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Rodgers now on first down.
This pass complete to Melton. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to lead the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's got room. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 54 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the wall. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Aaron Rodgers scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Nwogu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing.
On the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd down, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice intercept.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan from 13 yards out, and the Packers have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not...
return.
25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And down he'll go at the 25.
Jefferson, 17 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Cousins. And his pass is intercepted.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On 2nd down, Dillon.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this belongs to the Vikings. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers.
They'll set up a screen for Dillon.
Touchdown! A.J. Dillon from 17 yards out. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Vikings 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Nuwanger now from his end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there. That was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring and free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaul. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Rodgers now on first down. And Watson has it right side.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
65 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Up the middle, Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He'll dump this down to Dillon. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Dillon up the middle.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
And the Vikings will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Following the interception, Cousins.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Second and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Still down quite a bit here, single scores. But that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Cousins now. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. And my goodness, another interception. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get him next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in...
Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones, 41 yards. And the Packers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one, because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 3rd down, turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 3rd down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 and 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 26-yard line.
And he's got this, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll run with Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
A pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
Cousins. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
118 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith in there to get him once again. That's 2